Morning. Happy Tuesday morning. Good rising. All right, let's talk about the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 1 through 6. Jesus heals a withered hand. Now, if they understand now, Jesus is beginning his ministry. One of the first things he does is enter the synagogue, which would be a modern day church today. That was a place of gathering for the people of the city to come worship and hear the scrolls, the word of the Most High. Now, what I want to drive home or hit the nail on the head per se is the fact that these men were very religious. They had a lot of traditions, they had a lot of doctrines and teachings, but most of it, if not all of it, was rebuked by Jesus. Why? Because a lot of it was man made. A lot of man made traditions and religious um, doctrines that did not come from the Most High, but they were used to control the people. They were used to instill fear and thus keeping the religious authorities in power. And Jesus came, and he came to expose these frauds. And so, anytime any man comes to rebuke or to point out flaws in their teachings, one is not received very well, and it's understandable. You have to understand these men have been used to be ruling over the people and having control over the people, and when one comes to expose them, of course, it's not something men receive lightly. They're threatened and exposed. So the thought of a withered hand, when I read this in context and I started going through the scriptures, the idea, the first time it's mentioned is in First Kings, and the overall context or the reason why there's a withered hand is because a man uh, wants to do something that is not, it's not of the Most High, and so God, God begins to judge, begins to expose the fraud. And so in First Kings, we see King Jeroboam trying to go to the altar and do things in the name of God, but they are not of God. And so Jeroboam's hand is withered. It's shrunken because the Most High will not have his name blasphemed, his name perverted among the people. And that's one of the reasons why so people get disillusioned with religion, is because they see the fraud, they see the lies, and and they have a discernment. They're able to discern more than sometimes than people who sit in the pews every single Sunday morning. So my uh my uh my word to you is today is that it's so important to really really read not only your Bible carefully, but do research outside the Bible. Because remember, Jesus was rebuking the Pharisees for teaching the oral traditions of the elders, the oral teachings of the elders, meaning they were not from God, but from man themselves. And Jesus exposed them for being frauds. And so nothing has changed today. If you do just a little bit of research, you will see that there is a lot of leaven within the pages of our Bible, and a lot of it has an agenda. Don't kid yourself. Now, with all that being said, the Most High is still hidden within these pages of this book. So I encourage you to read Mark chapter 3, verses 1 through 6, and then do a little bit of research, and you'll see that God, well, the judgment of God starts to begin in the house of God, but also his healing power begins in the house of God. I hope this lesson or this word blessed you and encouraged you to continue persevering and seek the Most High out of a personal a love for Him, a personal desire to know Him intimately without the intercession of any man. Shalom, family. Shalom.